Welcome back to another episode of On-Chain Freedom, live, no cuts. We're going to give it to you as real as we can, guys. So, in this episode, we're going to go over three news that we've seen, three important news that we've seen in the last couple of days, last week or so. Also, we're going to highlight what XRP is. And also at the end of this live stream, I'm going to tell you guys what's really going on, because we 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 have to wake up. We have to wake up. There's not much time left. We're getting the best type of news in crypto history, and guys, it's time to pay attention because you're really going to miss out. So the news we're going to go over first, we're going to go over the BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements, and how they brought out a paper saying about their project Agora, which was for cross-border payments with tokenized wholesale CBDCs, they call it. So to transfer massive amounts of money, putting it into crypto form, and they've been testing blockchain technology and see how it works. So we're going to go over that news. We're going to go over the news of the DTCC announcing that they are going to partner with Stellar, which is the XLM crypto, and how they plan on using Stellar for tokenizing their assets, which they have 114 trillion worth of assets. They're going to use Stellar. Now, we must not get confused with this news. They're not only going to use Stellar, it's just important because Stellar are the first public blockchain that they have partnered with, basically. They announced that they were going to work with Canton Network, which is a closed blockchain for institutional use. But Stellar is the first public blockchain. That's why it's so important. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. What's the difference between the private sort of blockchain and the public blockchain? And we're also going to go over the news of ZEBEC, ZBCN, ZEBEC network. Remember the crypto that streams payroll or streams value in real time. So ZEBEC and Google. So we had the CEO of ZEBEC, Simon Babakani. He posted a picture of the headquarters of Google in London, and yes, very, very interesting. And also at the end, I'm going to give you guys a message of what's really going on in this whole blockchain crypto finance world. So let's get into it. I'm going to try and make it a short one today, as usual. So guys, the first news. I've got no. I haven't written anything down, so I'm just going to go with the flow, see what happens. Okay. So the first news we're going to go over is the BIS Project Agora. Okay. And when I saw this news, I knew about this Project Agora, and they've came out with the results. And effectively, they've said that using crypto and blockchain helps with the processing of massive amounts of money. Now, when I looked at it, they didn't mention like XRP, right, which is specialized in cross-border payments, and it was created for institutional use and for high value, high volume money transfers. And the BIS didn't even mention XRP. Why? I dug into it, and basically the BIS um, did this project Agora isn't 100% crypto. What it is it's using today's world and adapting tokenization and crypto in parts of today's structure. And I found out that um, they adopted crypto, but they were still using Nostro Vostro accounts for the settlement of cross border uh, transactions. Now, what is Nostro Vostro? I'm going to break it down very easily and simply. Guys, basically today's financial system is archaic and is so old, and not this Nostro Vostro just shows that. Nostro Vostro means Nostro ours and Vostro yours. Okay. So what does this mean? Let's say Lloyd's Bank in England, yes, they want to do business with, I don't know, Kotak Mahindra Bank in India. Okay, but Lloyd's uses pounds and Kotak Mahindra uses rupees. Okay, so what, how cross-border payments works in today's world is that Lloyd's has to have a load of rupees, a pile of rupees in India, and the Indian bank has to have a load of pounds in the UK, and they just have a pile, and then they just, if they do business with each other, they just take it from that pile or they add it to that pile. But that's so archaic technology. And the worst thing is that this capital, these piles of rupees and piles of pounds, they're just waiting to be used, and they can't be used for something else like to earn yield or invest in other things. No, they're just a load of pile of money waiting to be credited or debited. That's our banking system, and this is for every bank. There's $30 trillion worth of dormant capital, dead capital, that is just sitting there waiting to be used. And this scenario was used in the project Agora. Now, XRP wasn't used because XRP gets rid of this dormant capital. When you use XRP, you don't need Vostro Nostro accounts. Why? Because um, what would happen was, Lloyd's wants to do business with this Indian bank. It would go, Lloyd's would give the pounds would get converted to XRP, and then the XRP would get converted to rupees. So everybody uses and receives whatever they want. So this is the thing, that XRP, part of its utility is that it serves as a neutral bridge currency. So this way you don't have to have trillions of dollars sitting around doing nothing. So this is why XRP is really cool. Now I want to concentrate here. I'm going to touch upon a massive misunderstanding, okay, of what, or a misconception of what cross-border payments means. Okay, a lot of people are very confused, and a lot of people, when you hear cross-border payments and you hear multi-currencies, different currencies, logically you think it's sending money abroad. So it's sending money from the UK to India. Okay, and this is why the naysayers say, oh, you don't need XRP because you can send USDC, a digital dollar, okay, from England to India without using XRP, because you can. Let's say they both have a Solana wallet, and the UK sends some dollars, or sends dollars, let's say, to India. Yes, it will go through the Solana blockchain, and it will go from England to India. But this is where people get it mistaken. When Ripple refers to cross-border payments, okay, when in the financial world, when we're talking, they refer to cross-border payments, they don't refer to from one country to another country. What they refer to is from one asset to another asset. So from pounds to rupees. Okay, so it's not a geographical thing. The cross-border payments, what they refer to, is from one asset, from pounds, for it to get sent and converted into rupees. So from asset A to asset B. That's the cross-border we're talking about, not the geographical. And stablecoins doesn't solve this problem. Stablecoins is fine if you want to send USDC and the person wants to receive USDC, that's fine. But if the person wants to send pounds or USDC and receive rupees or Japanese yen, that is the cross-border dilemma. And that is where XRP shines. Okay, guys. So, and the video that the BIS brought out with this news, they focus on the planet, and they want you to believe that cross border is from one country to another country, but it's not. It's from one asset to another asset, and this is where XRP as a neutral bridge currency shines. Now, when Ripple talk about this, yes, they do tell us, for example, from dollars to Japanese yen, cross-border payments, and most people, we don't care because we're never sending yen or Thai baht, and we don't care, right? But they use that example. Why? Because in today's world, the things that when we swap an asset to another asset is currencies. That's what we do in today's world. We swap euro to US dollar, Japanese yen to British pounds. That is a fine example in today's world. But in tomorrow's world, or in the world that's coming, in the world that they're telling us, where you have tokenization, okay, that means that every asset is going to be tokenized. So you're going to go from not only currencies, but you're going to go from a ounce of gold to a Tesla stock. You're going to go from a tokenized piece of a hotel in Bucharest, let's say. You're going to use that, and you're going to be able to sell it for some tokenized oil. So this is where people don't understand XRP. XRP is a digital financial instrument of liquidity, which allows the interoperability of liquidity. So no matter on what chain you are, XRP can be in the middle, and XRP can swap anything to anything. That's why there's a video from Evernorth, I think his name is Hashish Burla, ex-Ripple. They created this digital asset treasury, which is called Evernorth. And he explains the role of XRP. And then in one of his videos, he calls XRP like the swap kid. And that's what XRP is. It's the mechanism that allows anything to anything, which is amazing. And I'm going to break it to you guys here. The way I think of XRP, the way I remember it, is I call it the. So what does XRP mean? Nobody knows. Everybody asks, but nobody knows. The way I look at it is X is for exchange, R is for rate, and P is for protocol. So when I think of XRP, I think of an exchange rate protocol. So basically, with XRP, you have some silver, tokenized silver, and or let's make it even funnier. Let's say your grandma, you received a tokenized Harley Davidson, right, from your grandma, okay, and you want to know how many coins of gold you can get for that tokenized Harley Davidson. And that's where XRP would tell you, okay, that tokenized asset, your grandma's Harley, is worth 10 ounces of gold, let's say. And then XRP would facilitate that crazy swap, right? It's a crazy swap. Tokenized grandma's Harley for some gold. But that's what's going to happen in the future. We're going to enter a high-tech barter system, guys, where anything will be changed for anything. And that's the world we're going to enter. And that's the world where XRP is going to shine, because XRP is going to provide the liquidity for any tokenized asset to any other tokenized asset. So that's the news of the BIS. Yes, they didn't mention XRP, but it was because they were the project Agora was using Nostro Vostro So don't worry, guys. Project Agora is a project that was, I think 40 banks participated, 7 central banks, and I think 95% of those institutions have had a relationship with Ripple. Okay, so now let's go on to the news with the DTC and Stellar, which is amazing. So the DTCC, they settle $4.7 quadrillion a year. They have 115 trillion in assets. They plan on tokenizing it all. They've said that the future is multi-chain, but they just announced the first public blockchain that they're going to be using is Stellar XLM, which is amazing for Stellar. And guys, why is it important that it's a public blockchain, and what does that matter? We need to understand, guys, that when the internet came out, for example, you had private universities using the internet, but it wasn't until the internet became public, available for everyone, that's where we saw the scalability and the innovation. And that's what's going to happen with blockchain. When you do things through a public blockchain, you're incentivizing innovation, you're creating more efficiencies, and you're just creating more people, deeper liquidity. More people can participate in that environment. So that's a massive win for Stellar. Everybody, we got the tribalism. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's crying, "Oh, it's not XRP." Guys, don't worry. We're all winners. As long as you haven't invested in Fart Coin or Peppercoin, we're all good. So yeah, guys. So yeah, and the DTCC mentioned that they chose Stellar because of its proven track record. And why does it have a proven track record? Because Stellar has been working with Franklin and Templeton. And the magical thing about open public blockchains is that Franklin and Templeton were working with Stellar, and Stellar didn't even know about it. So back in 2018, Franklin and Templeton were, because it's open source, right? Anybody can use the Stellar blockchain. So Franklin and Templeton were creating these money market funds. What's it called? The Franklin On-Chain US Government Money Market Fund, or Benji. So they were developing this money market fund, this tokenized financial product on the Stellar blockchain. And then Stellar found out, and then they got together. And look, big shout out to Franklin Templeton, Jenny Johnson, and Sandy Cole. Man, Franklin and Templeton have been the first. Let's give credit where credit's due, okay? Back in 2023, where crypto was wild, wild west, it still is, but when no financial institution, no bank was even mentioning the word crypto, Franklin and Templeton came out to the public and said, yes, we are using blockchain technology. Okay, so kudos to them. They were the first ones to give us examples. They gave an example like they did a pilot, which with the old system, they did 50,000 transactions, and that cost them $50,000, $1 per transaction. They did the same 50,000 transactions on the Stellar blockchain, and it cost them $125. So they were showing the benefits of using blockchain. Jenny Johnson is the only one with the cojones to tell us people that Bitcoin is the biggest distraction from what's really happening, which is this revolution of the financial system through tokenization and through blockchain and through these public blockchains. Crypto isn't about Bitcoin. When everybody focuses on Bitcoin, crypto is so much bigger than that. It's about democratizing finance. It's about entering this, what Sandy Cole says, we are entering a high-tech barter system. Okay, so back in the day, the barter system was I give you some potatoes, you give me a chicken. Okay, it's sort of like that, but it's backed by blockchain. So I give you, I don't know, a tokenized piece of art, and you can receive a tokenized car, or part of a tokenized car. So anything to anything is the system, the world we're going to be living in. And this is only possible with open public blockchains. Okay, it's not possible if everybody has their own blockchain and their own tokens. It needs to be open, just like with the internet. You know, when everything was open, it drives innovation. So yeah, big shout out to Danielle Dixon as well, the head of Stellar. You know, she was very happy with the announcement of the DTCC, and they deserve it, guys. And guys are like, oh no, they picked XLM and not XRP, guys. They do different things. Stellar, if you know the history of Stellar, Stellar was like a derivative or a fork, sort of like a copy from the XRP ledger. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they can talk to each other. They're separate things, and they were created by one of the people. You know, the XRP ledger was created by Arthur Brito, Joel Katz. I was going to say David Schwartz. You had Jed McCaleb and Chris Larson. Jed McCaleb, he sort of had a falling out with the team, so he went off to create Stellar. So Jed McCaleb created XRP and Stellar. So that guy, man, is in the. He doesn't come out public, but he's in whatever he's involved. It's a winner. He doesn't lose. He's like Elon Musk, Jed McCaleb, Peter Thiel. You know, all these type of people, man. They never seem to lose. So yeah, so Stellar is an awesome blockchain, and Stellar will concentrate on like the smart contracts, on the complicated operations of tokenizing the assets. And XRP, you'll see, DTCC hasn't announced it, but XRP will provide the interoperable liquidity. XRP will provide the liquidity, and Stellar will sort out the tokenized assets and smart contracts bit. So they'll work hand in hand. There is a patent from the DTCC, which they use XRP and XLM. So it's not a problem, guys. It's all good. And now let's go on to the news of ZEBEC and Google. Guys, this is massive. Guys, look, not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes only. Blah blah blah. You know, just for entertainment and educational purposes only, not financial advice. But if you guys are just starting, you want to get into crypto, whatever, guys, they say you need to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. They say put them like over here, over there. That's fine when you got a load of eggs, but we don't have a load of eggs, guys. Or you maybe you just starting, you got one egg or two eggs, so you got to put them all in one basket. If you're gonna put them all in one basket, put them in ZEBEC, guys. Come on, look, we're seeing a trend. Okay, we've got DTC and Stellar. Who's partnered with Stellar? ZEBEC. Yeah, we've got Ripple as well involved with the IMF, BIS. Who's partnered with Ripple? ZEBEC. Guys, ZEBEC is the common denominator. ZEBEC will fulfill the last mile. Okay, ZEBEC will be in direct contact with the final customer. ZEBEC will stream value. Okay, ZEBEC will participate in the agentic, the AI economy. And that's why we're going out with this news with Google. Google, a couple of days ago, a day before, I think they announced the UCP. Remember that? The Universal Commerce Protocol, which is amazing, which is supposed to be the HTTP for the internet. The UCP is going to be the protocol for the internet of value, the financial layer of the internet. And guys, who's involved? ZEBEC. ZEBEC are involved with Google, and that is massive. We've got a Spaces and Next on the 2nd of June. I recommend you follow them, you attend, you listen. Guys, ZEBEC is 0.003 cents of a dollar. All it takes is Google to say that the streaming, how they're going to pay or how they're going to deliver money or payments is going to be through ZEBEC. And look, you've got YouTube, which is a giant. They'll be streaming money payouts to their content creators in real time. Not only that, um, the advertisement revenue will not only go to YouTube and the content creator. Finally, your doom scrolling is going to pay off. They will be able, through the streaming of micropayments and the streaming of value and ZEBEC's streaming protocol engine, us consumers will be able to get a piece of that advertisement revenue. You will get paid. I'm telling you right now. They haven't announced anything, but I'm telling you, you will get paid for watching content on YouTube. If there's any revenue that's generated, it'll be split, not only to the content creators or YouTube, but also to the consumer. Why? Because you're the most important piece in this puzzle. We don't realize it. They take our data, they sell it on. We don't even know. We just agree to the terms and conditions, and that's it. But guys, now we're going to be able to prove that we're humans, proof of human, check, and we're going to get paid for it. And guys, this is going to happen seamlessly. This isn't even going to be plug and play. This is going to be no plug and just play. You already have Google Pay if you've got an Android phone. Google's everywhere. It's not just a tech company. They've got their phones, they've got their laptops. Man, this is going to be like you're going to update your phone, and in your Google Pay wallet, you're going to have your crypto wallet, and you're going to be able to receive and send micropayments and streaming of payments. And this fits in with the agentic, with the AI agents that they're saying, guys. AI agents are cool, they're smart, they're in chatbots or whatever, but they need this economic layer. And it's what I drilled down to you guys. Guys, AI needs to interact with the world financially, and they need crypto and blockchain. And all this crypto and blockchain is happening not because of us, guys. It's because of AI, and AI needs it. So yeah, guys, if you got one egg, two eggs, put it all in ZEBEC. Not financial advice, yeah. Accumulate as you can, but guys, now I'm entering the final message what I want to give to you guys, and I'm going to start off with: there will be no excuses. You've got zero excuses. You have all the information looking here. You're looking at it on your phone. So when all this kicks off, you missed the .com boom, whatever, you weren't old enough or whatever. You missed Bitcoin. But guys, please don't miss the biggest one, the biggest banana, the one that's going to send the charts like a banana, guys. This is going to be bigger than anything we have ever witnessed. We cannot imagine how big this is going to be. But this blockchain economy, on-chain economy with AI agents and streaming and everything interoperable, guys, quadrillions. We're going to talk about hundreds of quadrillions, if not quintillions. The amount of volume, the amount that it's going to free the whole world's value. And what you need to understand, guys, this is what you need to understand. They have created a new financial system that is going to not upgrade, but it's going to replace the current financial system. And you have the opportunity to own a piece of this financial system. You have your phone in your hand, okay, which has all the information. Okay, so there's going to be no excuses. And you might say, oh, I'm no good at research. You can ask Grok, you can ask any AI to do the research for you. What's happened is that you're not lazy, you're distracted. Look, Arsenal have even become champions, yeah? Look in the world we live in. Arsenal are champions. Coventry City, after 25 years, are back in the Premier League. We've got alien disclosures. We've got the movie Disclosure of Aliens coming out. Guys, they are distracting you. They are bombing you. We have wars. We have towers. We don't have towers. Guys, they are throwing everything at you so that you don't wake up and you're there on your phone. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it the devil's work, guys? that you have the key for your freedom in your hand every day, all day. And instead of using it to unlock these invisible shackles that we're in this rat race day to day, right? And use it to invest and accumulate these assets again that are going to bring you financial freedom. No, you're grabbing the key and you're smashing it and you're using it like a caveman. So guys, unfortunately with this technology, everybody is going to buy crypto and digital assets at the price they deserve. And I'm begging you guys, it's time to lock in. Who cares about the UFC and the White House? How mad is that? Yeah. Who cares about Conor McGregor's return? Who cares about any rapper, any music? Who cares about the World Cup? Everything's going to hit us. We don't care. It's time for you to lock in. It's time for you to wake up. There is this new financial system, and you can own a piece of it and pass it on for generations and generations. So, guys, do it for your kids, your parents, or just do it for your future self. But you need to wake up. Guys, this window isn't going to last forever. Okay? Laws and regulations are about to pass. And a clear sign, guys, a clear sign of this is that HMRC or the IRS, they're all in position to snipe you out. They all have access to your crypto accounts. So when all this is going off and blowing up, you guys that are not informed will be selling your crypto, swapping your crypto. And at the end of the day, after a certain period of time, when all is settled, the IRS or HMRC are going to come knocking on your door, and you're going to have to sell everything you bought to pay the IRS, plus the little crypto that you've left just in case that you haven't sold. You're going to have to sell that to pay the IRS. So that's why, guys, no matter how much crypto you've got, it doesn't matter. What's more important is that you know what you hold and you know what's going on. Right, guys? So, guys, remember, let's own the tech before the tech owns us. And if you're not on chain, you're not in the game, guys. Please wake up. Let's lock in and let's do the right thing. Right, guys? Time to wake up, guys. Let's go. Right. Thank you. Until the next one.